'Tis the season in the SSF2 community. Rant videos, Christmas wishes, and of course the underlying desire of a new update. It's also the time where people can make their Christmas wish lists of all the things they wish were in SSF2. So I'm going to be making a video on all the things that I think would be a great addition to SSF2, or things that I would change. Now, I know the dev team pretty well, and I know that they're incredibly busy people who are extremely hardworking. So I don't expect them to take much of what I say into consideration, and I don't expect much of it to happen. But it would still be pretty cool if these things were eventually added into SSF2 in future updates. Also, some of these things might not even be possible in Flash. I don't know the first thing when it comes to game development, so it's way beyond me what the limitations of Flash are. Again, these things aren't very likely, it's just super cool additions I think would make SSF2 way cooler and just more fun to play for me at least. I also want to add that these aren't really in any particular order, I just think they'd be cool features to add, and I've seen a lot of other people suggest some of these, and I think they're good additions as well, so I'll be putting them in here. Also, this is not a character request video, and I'm not going over any features they're confirmed to be working on, or they could be working on, at least from as far as I'm aware. The first one is online changes. Lots of online changes. I may be in the minority here, but I think there's so much potential for cool stuff in SSF2's online. However, I don't mind the room system. I think rooms work pretty well for SSF2. I don't think a matchmaking system would be good for SSF2 since we don't have the large community and it'd be harder to play with your friends. What could be done though is smaller but still impactful changes to how the room system works. Things like showing the ping of a user, similar to how Rivals of Aether does it, with its green, yellow, and red, would definitely help people find people who are closer to them and allow for less laggy matches. Lag is definitely the biggest issue in SSF2, and more often than not, it's just a distance thing, people playing with people far away from them. They don't know what region they're in. So having a way where we can see each other's ping, or even just having a way where we can set our regions would be pretty cool. So if they don't do the ping thing, a good alternative is letting you select a preferred region, similar to how Rivals of Aether does it again, where you can like select US East or like Europe. It wouldn't restrict them to only playing in that region, but it would give people an idea of what region they're playing against so they don't purposely go into laggy matches and try and play with people in their region. So like, if they try and join your room, you can see their name and then like the little region icon, so you know about, okay, this player is a US player, they're a Central America player. Because really, I feel like, yes, lag does come down to how good your internet is, but also distance is a big factor too, so I think that would help. The next thing I want to talk about is something I've talked about in my other videos, and I think would still be pretty cool for SSF2, and that's more game modes available in matches. Currently, there's only stock and time. There's no coin battle, no stamina, or none of the crazy game modes that Crusade has like Deathmatch and King of the Hill. Not saying they need the ones Crusade has, but personally I find tons of enjoyment in stamina mode. Although, to be honest, they probably have more important things to worry about than stamina and coin mode, and I can understand that, but I still think it'd be nice to add it to the game. Also, while I'm on the topic of game modes, the special modes don't currently work online, which is definitely a shame. I'm pretty sure this will be fixed in the next update since they are aware of it, but I definitely miss playing turbo mode with some friends. That was one of my favorite pastimes. The next thing I want to see is an issue a lot of people bring up, which is the color palettes. Now, it would be super cool if we had real color palettes or alternative colors like how Crusade has it in the official Smash games, but I understand why we don't. I'm pretty sure at least it's a combination of limitations of Flash as well as file size issues, so that's understandable. So instead of having nicer colors like that, it'd be cool if we could make our own custom colors, similar to how Rivals of Aether does it. Since the colors in SSF2 are done by changing the hue, saturation, and brightness, I don't think it'd be that hard to make a feature where we can change that to an individual custom slot. Although again, I don't know much about game design, so it could be really hard to implement, and if it is, that's unfortunate, but it would still be a nice addition. Although, if this did end up getting added, we definitely need a way to disable it if you want, since a lot of people online would probably have like super dark or obnoxiously bright colored ones, which would be really annoying in competitive play. To be honest, I don't even know if this is possible in SSF2, but it would definitely be worth the time to program in my opinion. Another cool feature I think would be nice in SSF2 would be spectating online matches. Now, there's a few things I have to say about this. First of all, if it were ever eventually a feature, it would definitely have to be an option you can turn on and off. If you just want to have a private match with some friends, you should be able to turn off spectating. But it would be pretty cool if you were like in a tournament where you could like turn on spectating so the commentators could watch, not in a replay form, but instead like a couple seconds behind. Although I'm guessing the main issue would probably be lag or connection issues. I guess you could try and fix this with having a delay of like 4 to 5 seconds, and like it just sends the inputs to you that they inputted. So if the match was laggy, it would be laggy on your replay, sort of. If they could get spectating working, it would be really good for tournaments, I think, since currently, how tournaments usually do it is they just watch the replays after the match has already happened, which is really slow and not nearly as entertaining to watch, I think, since most of the time you already know what happens. And lastly, the final feature I would like to see is a small change, but a change I think would actually make SSF2 a lot more fun personally for me, which is wall jumping. Wall jumping is so sick. It allows for recovery mix-ups, sick edge guards, and overall flashy movement. which is something SSF2 could definitely use. Characters with subpar recoveries like Naruto could definitely do with a wall jump or even a wall cling, and characters like Falcon and Falco could do some sick combos using wall jumps. Stages like Tower of Salvation and Yoshi's Story come to mind because they have those walls which would be perfect for wall jumping. And if I had to choose characters that I'd give wall jumps out of the newcomers to SSF2, I'd probably go with Naruto, since his recovery is not that good. Bomberman, since again his recovery, while it's pretty good vertically, has some issues horizontally. I think it'd be pretty cool if Sora had one, I don't really know why. And maybe even Sandbag, just because the recovery is not that good, and that'd be a cool little addition, I don't know. Anyways, those are the 5 things I think would be really cool in SSF2 and make it a better game in general if they were added. I don't really expect these out of the devs, I just think they'd be cool additions and I want to voice my opinion. And of course, you guys can voice your opinions in the comments below like always. I love reading your guys' comments and opinions on SSF2. Anyways, that's it for my video. Thanks for watching.